So here we're going to look at developments, and we're going to look at how to develop and construct a cube. So we're going to start off, and we're doing this on A4 paper, so we should be able to find an A4 page someplace around the house. And it doesn't even need to be a page, we could even do this on some card. So what we will need is a compass, and the main set square that we will be using is the 45-degree set square. So with a cube, we're going to start off by drawing a square. So for this, we're going to draw a square which is 50 millimeters. So 50 millimeters in length. So I've drawn a light line and I've marked off 50 millimeters. Now we're going to draw on the height of this square. So first of all, I'm going to draw my two vertical lines. And now, instead of measuring 50 millimeters up, which we could do, a more accurate way to do this is to use our 45-degree set square and to draw 45 degrees from one of the corners, and that gives us an exact square. So that square is exactly now 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. Of course, we could measure all the sides and measure each one out 50 millimeters, but a more accurate way of doing this is to use our 45-degree set square. So now I'm just going to heavy this in, and I am putting in broken lines, and we're going to see in a couple of minutes why we are putting in broken lines here. So we're just going to have a dash every so often, and also we're going to do that on the height of the square. So hopefully we know by now that a cube consists of 6 equally sized squares. So it's like a dice. There are 6 sides on the dice. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put on the 2 sides. And these 2 sides are going to be drawn flat on each end. And also I'm going to put a top and a bottom on this. So as you can see, my hands folding out. That's where we're going to put those on. So I'm going to draw joining on to the existing square. So the existing square we're going to call the base. I could draw on 50 millimeters and measure on 50 millimeters more, but a more accurate way is to draw a 45-degree line, and it gives me an exact second square. So it's exactly 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on all of the other 3 sides. So I'm just repeating the exact same process for each of the other 3 sides. And again, I'm using my 45-degree set square to make sure I'm accurately constructing squares. So once I've that done, again, I'm going to heavy in all of these lines. So I'm actually going to go back and change these lines because these are not broken lines. Those lines will actually also be heavy lines. So all of these squares on the side are going to give me heavy lines. Now again, we're going to see in a couple of minutes why these are heavy lines. So they're not going to be dashed lines and they're not going to be broken lines. So as you can see, I've left the one over on the right hand side just open for now. So you can see each one of these sides are going to fold up. However, I am also going to need a top, so I am going to need my 6th side on it. So what we currently have is 5 sides. So we have our base, we have our 4 sides, and I just need to get a top for this. So where I'm going to draw the top can be drawn on the end of any one of these cubes. I'm just going to draw it on over on this side. So again, that's the reason I've not heavied in the line joining on to 5. So it's actually going to be a dashed line again. So what dashed lines actually show us, it shows us where we need to fold the lines. And all the heavy lines are the lines that we're actually going to cut out. So once I've got this drawn out, I'm going to get a scissors and I'm going to cut out all of the black heavy lines. And all the dashed lines, or we can call them broken lines, are lines where we're going to fold them. So I'm going to get a scissors now, and I'm going to cut out that shape. So here we are with the shape cut out. As you can see, all of the heavy black lines were cut, and what we do have is dashed or broken lines, and it is along these dashed or broken lines is where I'm actually going to fold this figure. So by folding this 2D shape, I will be able to construct and make a 3D shape. So back in primary school, this was called nets. So here in graphics, it's called developments. So we're developing a 2D shape into a 3D shape. So what you can see here along all of the broken lines, or all of these dashed lines, what I'm doing, I'm folding up squares. So what I find easier is if I use my 2 set squares and just push them in against each other, it will actually give a very sharp fold line. So I'm going to do that exact same process for each of the 4 sides. So now I've all of the lines and all of these fold lines folded up. So what I'm going to do is just get some tape and make the 3D figure. So again, if I've used cardboard, my shape will be a little bit stronger here. So I just used A4 paper since I had it beside me. And at the end of this process, what we should have is a perfect cube. So that's the first development that we've looked at. So again, a development is drawing something in 2D and folding it up to make a 3D shape.